Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has been the talk of everything for the last little while. I guess it's always the talk of everything. Everybody loves Bitcoin because when Bitcoin goes up, that means some altcoins can be blasting. And also, too, you might have to wait for some other altcoins. But there's some altcoins that are really, really blasting. And by the way, let me go over this one real quick. And remember this one I was telling you guys about that one. I said, watch out here. Old Aptos could be blasting up. Guys, look at that. You see that on the daily chart? This is a good example that Aptos wasn't done. This right here, you see that? All the way up there in the RSI, guys. So here's the deal. You know what this wave is telling me right here? This little bit of information right there. And this information right here. All that right there, guys. That's a strong, strong wave. You know what that's telling me? That is telling me that the people in the cryptocurrency market have spoken, or somebody has. Somebody's prepared for this thing to do a moonshot in 2023. Okay? So you haven't missed anything. It can't keep running, guys. If you can believe it, Aptos might get to $20. That's pretty darn good right here. $3 to $20. I wasn't paying much attention to it, guys. I didn't expect Aptos to do that. So it's my fault, right? I couldn't predict the moonshot. Nobody could have predicted this moonshot. But here's the deal. 3 to 20 are still pretty good gains. That's highly speculative. I don't like taking that risk. It's so much risk to get into here because you know it's got a correction down here. So, but here's the deal with Aptos, guys. Up in one, right? Wherever it ends up, and then come back down in two. It's going to have a shallow fourth wave probably, guys, and go to 3-4 over there in 2023. So plan accordingly. This right here, this wave is telling me that Aptos in 2023 is going to probably be a Solana, guys, Solana. That's right. Okay. You watch. Let's find out what's all said and done at the end of 2023. And if you made some serious gains in Aptos, then hey, you'll have a little bit of a party, I guess. Yeah, Aptos gains. And then you can take a trip to Mexico and go on vacation, right? That's how it's going to work. Okay, so here's the deal, guys, with Bitcoin. All right, lots of talk about Bitcoin. You got bears. I've been going through the polls. Been checking out the sentiment, going through some chats, checking out everything. A lot of people are not paying attention, and most people think it's a big fake out. And it could be. You always have to keep that in the back of your mind. All right, so Aptos is still going to go up. It's going to be hard to say. You do have some bearish divergence up there, guys. And that is a very strong fifth wave. That's a pretty strong fifth wave. I'm still wondering what kind of correction Bitcoin is going to do from this point, guys. You know, these assets, I'm going through the crypto assets, guys, and some of them are really, really bullish. I mean, Bitcoin is bullish. These waves are bullish. There's no doubt about that. These are strong, strong waves. So anyhow, let's go through the bearish count, give you guys an update. All right, here we go. You cannot rule this out. So these are the bears. These people are saying that this is a bounce. This is an A, B, and this is coming up for a C. If Bitcoin just comes to here and it starts shooting up a little bit more and comes down a little bit more and maybe goes up a little bit more, you have to really start going, wait a second, there's something going on. I'm kind of hoping the Bitcoin will come down and then pull off a fifth wave, but you just never know what the strength and momentum behind this wave, guys. Okay. That's a pretty strong wave. And this one too is even pretty strong. So I'm going to show you some, go in this 2-hour chart. I show you some areas that I went into a short. I'm actually still in a short, a 35x short with Bitcoin. So here's what I did. Just to let you guys know, this was your perfect ending diagonal or your ending ascending wedge. Here's your third wave peak. Right now, you want to be careful getting into these third waves, in my opinion, on the cryptocurrency market. Okay. Some of these assets are so bullish they just might continue to trend up like what Bitcoin did there, guys. Okay, so people saw this. You see, this is the resistance line right here. And it looks like the perfect little entry for a short, doesn't it? No brainer, a no brainer. Look how bullish Bitcoin blasted through it and went up. So what I did, I said, you know what? That's going to blast through there, I think. Bitcoin's too bullish. And how do you find out how bullish something is, guys? Is you check the wave one. Check these waves, okay? Get it as realistic as you can. Check these waves. So here's your wave one, and it came and it corrected in this wave two. Okay, let me put the indicator back on. Let's just go right there, okay? You see how high this went? This is logarithmic, guys. It's logarithmic. I'll take it off log. Same thing, log 3.618, and then the fifth wave, 4.618. That's a strong wave, guys, compared to this first wave. It's the same thing down here with Bitcoin, guys. This whole area and these 1-2s, this is a strong wave over here, okay? This is the example that I was telling you guys about back in June. When you see these they're called starting diagonals, or also, I actually missed this. I wasn't paying attention to this close enough, unfortunately. And this was a diagonal. So what that means is usually the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be a nice little diagonal. Now in hindsight, I'm looking at that, and it turned out to be pretty good. That you have explosive move over here, so you want to be careful of that. Shorting. I'm actually in a short, but I felt pretty confident about this short. And instead of going in here, I put an order in for my Bitcoin to hit at 23,000, just over 23,000. I actually had a stop loss just above here. I woke up in the morning, see it come right to the stop loss almost, and I actually had the order in all the way down here for massive gains because there's a 35x. And I'm thinking, it's going to continue going, and no. And so then I had to ride it all the way through here, go past that high again near the stop loss, go and think, I'm going to get stopped out, man. I'm going to get killed here. But it just barely made it, and then came through here and did this. So what I'm doing is, I'm not too sure if Bitcoin stopped here, if it's going to try to rip off another wave. It could. I'm still expecting like a 22,325. And there's a possibility too that Bitcoin could come down to these areas. So what I did is that I took my gains out in this area. I took some gains, everything that I made in gains. And I got now my short trade on 35x locked up in here, okay, with Bitcoin. So the reason for that is because it could come down to here, and it could come down to here, and maybe that's the end of it, you know, because if it comes down here, you know, if this is like the bearish scenario, then I'm going to make some serious gains if it goes down there. I'm not counting on that though, guys. I think Bitcoin is too bullish right now. So I think just the reason I say that is I was looking at its waves and everything and kind of studying a little bit closer. It's just too bullish right now. And then just going through some other assets too, guys. And you know, there's some out there that are actually doing pretty well. You know, like Gala had a pump. ICP. I'll go over ICP with you real quick. You know, IC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ICP went up in 5. You just wait for the correction, and then you can see if it corrects probably to this fourth wave, 470, and then or maybe to 370, somewhere in that area, and then ICP could get out of there. Now another guy was talking about the waves that were strong. So here's Lido. Lido's a strong one. You could pick this up on a correction. Aptos is strong. And looking at these ones that made these nice strong waves off the bottom. So a guy showed me that, and he was talking about that on Twitter. Big Daddy Crypto stays in touch with me on Twitter. And he's right. He saw a guy. The guy is right. Because the reason why, here's the reason why that you can do that, okay? And you can make more gains is because this is the reason why. The length of wave 1, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just this, people are new to my channel, going over these waves real quick. So the third wave in cryptocurrencies is going to be 1.61 times the length of wave 1, right? So if you have a wave 1 that's long, You could have a third wave that's that long. So basically, based off probabilities, this is all about probabilities. The third wave will be 1.61 times the length of the first wave. Okay, that's a general guideline. Logarithmic, not linear, guys. Okay, in cryptocurrencies, I tell you right now, Aptos is going to hit logarithmic 1.618. Pretty sure that it will. So however long its wave 1 is, it's going to correct into wave 2. So bullish, is probably not going to be that deep. It could be, but not too sure yet. And that third wave is going to be 1.618, the length of times of the first wave, maybe even 2.618, and it can hit 3.618, the length of time third wave, if you can believe it. So with that said, if you have those waves off the bottom, these assets are making these nice waves off the bottom, they're going to correct. And this third wave over here is going to be 1.618 length times of that wave, okay? So if you have an asset, as an example, that just does boom, and it goes that high, so then that wave will be over there. That's just a probability. That's not a guarantee. It's only a probability. One of these guys can go into a small first wave like Bitcoin and do like a diagonal, come back and do a correction, and then have a super extended third wave, as in this case right here, okay? So you have to realize that. You have to realize that. So it's all about probabilities, guys. So here's the deal. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do have a lot of bearish divergence. We had bearish divergence up there. I said that Bitcoin is going to do this correction, and it did. And it did a nice ending diagonal up here. These are really good. These diagonals are really good to trade, guys. They are. So you take a look. I'll show you the 30-minute chart. I was going through here. That's why I stayed in my trade all the way up here, because I was pretty sure that this was the last fifth wave thrust. And I just put the trend line right on there. Once it broke it, I thought I was done. Come back, retest it, and did the dump. Okay. It was a little bit frustrating for a little while because it was hanging out up here, broke those highs. And I was in a 35x trade, which normally I don't go that high. For some reason, I decided to say, hey, let's risk it for the biscuit. You know, I was prepared. So when you trade, you have to protect your losses. Okay. So you need to protect your losses. Okay. So I had I'll show you guys something here in trading. You know, you got to get the mindset. So let's say that is your liquidation. And then right here was like maybe a stop loss. I had a stop loss like that. And my concern was Bitcoin could have spiked up and hit it. Okay, boom. And then you're done, right? And you lose all that money. When you're doing this trading, okay, you have to be prepared to go for a ride. You have to be prepared to go for a ride. So you see your money, your account going way, way down. You have to get used to that. So you want to get good at trading? This is what I suggest. You got to just do it. If you want to really become a lot better at it, and everybody needs practice because there's so many screw ups in trading that you have to go and learn how to suffer the consequences of seeing your account go like negative for a good period of time. Okay. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, you got to do it. So you got to sit in front of your computer and you got to watch your account. And you got to do this, guys. You're like this. You got to watch your account go, oh my gosh, it's going down. I'm going to lose all my money. You got to get used to it. Get used to it. Okay. I know it sucks. Believe me. I know it sucks. And you're like, oh, well, it's right now. If you start praying to God or something like that during your trade, you probably have too much on the line. Okay. So you shouldn't have any problem. And once you get to the point where, let's say you entered in right here, you made a mistake, it starts going up and you're like, oh, geez. And you're just like, hey, I'm confident. I'm not even worried about that. Then you're a trader. Then you're an actual trader. But if you start sweating balls and you start praying to God, please don't let it wake up there and all kinds of stuff, you have too much at risk and then go back around. That's how you do it. But you have to practice it, guys. It's easier. Like I'm telling you this right now. That's easier said than done. Okay. You got your own cash on the line, boom, boom, boom. Like these traders from FTX. Well, Mr. Vegan boy with the fat face and the other girl, like, we don't use stop losses. You know what? You know what I do with those two? This is what I would do right here. I say, here's $10,000. This is it. You either make it or you break it. Okay. You don't have anything else, nothing else, but that money to live off. You trade that right there. You see, it'd be a whole lot different. When those two call themselves expert traders, they got lucky. And you know what? They're using other people's money to be able to deal with this. So it wasn't that big of a deal to them, you know? So when it's your own funds, it's a whole different story. And if your life is on the line, you're like, oh, I got to make money this month or I'm not going to be able to eat. You know, that's a whole different story too. So with that said, sorry about my little rant, but I think you guys get the point. I think you get the point. So diagonal, up and a diagonal. Nice looking diagonal that it made right there. So the good thing about these are wedges, ascending wedges, is they like to do this break like this. Boom. And they come back down to the bottom of the wedge. That's the target. Up here, the wedge, look for the spike. Look for the spike. And they go up a little bit and break down into a wedge and come back down. The bottom of the wedge is the target, is where they like to go. I'm still thinking that Bitcoin could get down to 22,435 possibly. This might be another ripper. It could be getting out of here 1, 2, and then maybe up here for another wave. Who knows what's going to be going on? I'm in my trade. I actually had this red line. There's my stop loss. I moved it down. So if I get stopped out, I'm in profits right there. A little bit of profit. So I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit and let it run. Because I want to see if it does this. It could. So that back down here with Bitcoin, guys, let me go to a 4-hour chart. I'll show you. Back down here is going to be another re-entry for the long side. If will be another area you want to be checking out. This area for a re-entry for another leg up, okay? Because right now, what I think with Bitcoin, at a minimum right now, what we have going on is that this whole thing right here is a third wave, okay? You see this wave? This wave right here, in my opinion, is a third wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got bearish divergence on the daily. Of course, that divergence right here could be taken out. If you can believe it, okay? If you can believe it, this divergence can be taken out just like so. If it goes like that, then the third wave's not done yet. So here's what I'm saying, like this. This is what you do. So here's your third wave, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So if it takes it out like that, okay, as an example, let you guys know that that next wave will be a little maybe fifth wave. And wherever that highest divergence is, your third wave extended just like that. And just went like that, okay? And then you got 1, 2, 3, possibly 4, 5, okay? So technically, if something like that happens, Bitcoin could be in here for a little bit and then up to the $25,000 target, all right? Now, remember, guys, keep this bearish in the back of your mind. You know, a lot of people are expecting that. The majority, I would say 60, 70% of people are thinking this is ABC, and it's going to go just like this and break new lows, okay? So that is a possibility. You want to keep that in the back of your mind. Now, what I'm going to do too, 2023, I'm going to go over the NASDAQ real quick. Most of you, I do something about the NASDAQ. You guys don't want to hear about that. Hey, understandable, but the NASDAQ goes up, Bitcoin's going to go up. NASDAQ goes down, more likely Bitcoin's going to go down. Not 100% correlation, but most of the time it's correlated. So what I'm going to do is let you guys know that you're going to, if you do this right, you should be able to make a lot of money in 2023, guys. I think so. You got some assets in there ready to rock and roll, like Aptos and some other ones in there. You should do pretty good. You just got to have a little bit of patience, guys. You know, have a correct strategy. So here's the deal with the NASDAQ. I'll go over this one again, okay? If the NASDAQ breaks this high and it gets up to 11,278, you have to start assuming this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? You have to assume that, okay? For the time being. Could be wrong, maybe it's something else, but if it does that, then the NASDAQ is probably not going to be doing a dump. It's going to come back in the three wave and go back up again. And if that's the case, then maybe Bitcoin is going to push up. So it remains to be seen right now with the NASDAQ, because the thought is, let me go to a 12-hour chart with the NASDAQ, guys, is that coming down for a C wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back down here with that C wave like that, okay? Let me draw the doodle brush. This is what they're assuming right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Just like that. And if that's the case, then Bitcoin will be coming down, right? So Bitcoin's up here and it'll probably be coming down, doing a correction. However, you got to really look at this. This is, to me, this is the issue that I have with the NASDAQ, guys. I'll show you right here. This move right here, guys. You see this move? This is the move I want to show you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. If that's a flat, if this is a flat, just like so, then this was an impulse, and this is probably an impulse correction, and it's going to keep going. So you want to realize that. You want to realize that, because if that's going to change everything over here, over here. That's going to change everything. You know, NASDAQ going down into a C wave, Bitcoin probably going to do a correction. See, that's the issue. That's the issue. So I'm not really too sure which one is going to be going. Right now, I'm 50-50 at the NASDAQ. I'm paying attention. I'm wondering what's going to be going on with that sucker over there. And that's going to matter over here with Bitcoin. So I wanted to go over that, show you guys what I think about Bitcoin. We're not out of the woods yet, and let you guys know the only way you're going to have 100% confirmation on Bitcoin is when it, let's say the third wave's done there, comes down for a fourth, and it pulls that off. You know, it's got that step to do, and then it's got a 3-wave swing to do over here. And then two, I guess I ought to let you know is that, you know, you're going to have this count out here too, which I don't agree with this yet. This is all speculation. You got a 3-wave move and a 3-wave move, and then it's going up for a 5. And what would that be? That would be an ABC move, just like so. Okay, you can't rule this out. You want to realize that ABC move. The issue is with that, guys, is that now you would have a massive WX, and then it's going to be going back down for this massive Y, guys. You're talking, that is the mega bear. Just remember, when people are saying that's a possibility, okay, and you can't rule it out, that's the mega bear, and Bitcoin's going to do a leg similar to this. I don't agree with that right now, guys. I just don't. I think there's I think, you know, I just think there's too much bullishness right down in that area. But you know, like, I don't think so. It's got to prove that's just so far ahead. You know, just realize that. You just realize that, you know, up and down. But if it does do something like that, then you get to practice some shorts again in your assets. But the cryptocurrency market itself is not telling me that Bitcoin's going to do that. Like, if you look at some other assets, they don't look like that. They look like they want to get themselves ready to go into another wave. Okay. That's why looking at just a Bitcoin chart. Okay. So like, for example, Aptos, you know, go back over Aptos, right? Aptos is looking like it's setting itself up for a, you know, here, wave 1 correction and going into a wave 3 right over there. Let's go over Ethereum. Ethereum, the same thing, guys. You know, Ethereum is looking like it's setting itself up for 1, possibly 2 here, and then it's going into another wave. Okay. And then the thing is with that, you know, look at that. Phantom is running again. Phantom's running again. Okay, it's looking like Phantom. Phantom could have had a bottom right there. It's going to be like Bitcoin, guys, possibly up 3, you know, 4, 5, and then with Phantom, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then pick it back up over here with Phantom. If you haven't gotten into that, everybody's been following my channel. I said I was bullish on Phantom. I like it out of all the other blockchains, probably the most of the older ones, if you will, compared to Solana and Avalanche and some of the other ones. 8% inflation. Inflation is fairly decent. So this could have been it. And then correction, and then Phantom could be going into a nice wave over here, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back on a correction, and then it could be really going out of there, guys, in 2023. But I've been saying this with Phantom is that, you know, this area was an area to start checking out Phantom. And so far, so good. Going over Gala. Let me see. Is Gala going to be able to make that little run? Gala could do that, guys. I'm still thinking Gala is like in some sort of ending diagonal too. Ending diagonal for Gala and up to the box. And I did have near 6 cents target. And that's a good possibility with Gala, guys. That's a good possibility with Gala. It's just finishing off like a 5th wave. So here's the whole wave count for Gala. You can see on the daily chart, here's a 3rd wave blast. You know, the 5th seems like it would have been done there, but maybe it's doing that. So you see how this is going up and back down, and it made the divergence on that wave. It came back down, now it's doing another wave. You know, there's a possibility Bitcoin could do that too, guys. It come down and then just keep going up. But what will happen is that up, divergence, come back down, come back up, keep going higher, back down, back up, higher, you know, just like that. I'll show you an example of how Bitcoin did that, guys. If you want to see over here on the daily chart, Bitcoin went up into a wave here, back down. Here's that little wave. Okay, so then it came back down. Here's that wave. You see that wave? Right there. It was at 49, just basically say 5,000, right? Well, look what it did. Came back down, went back up. Then break it. Look how high it went. Now it's at 8,000. Back down even deeper and went back up. You see? And then went up to what? 13,000. That could be going on right there with Bitcoin in this area, guys. It really could. Let me take a look at it again. 2-hour chart. What Bitcoin doing? Is it going back onto a wave? Everything's starting to blast off again. Maybe it went bullish. It's in a bullish sequence, huh? Take a look at this on a 30-minute chart. Oh, yeah, look at that. So it's a pretty strong wave. Is it blasting? It could be, guys. It very well could be. So here's one thing I want to check on the 2-hour. I would like to see it get down. Yeah, so on the 2-hour, here's a good area to check too on this 2-hour is to see Bitcoin get down into the 2-hour RSI. So here you guys go. I'll let you guys know something. The 2-hour RSI is pretty good for trading when some asset goes bullish. Just check it out. Look at it. So look, here's Bitcoin. When it's bullish, it's going up. Get to the bottom of the 2-hour RSI. If you bought in that area, look, boom. If you bought right here, look at that, boom. If 2-hour RSI, if you bought there, boom. If you bought here, you had to write it down a little bit, but boom. Down here in 2-hour RSI, look what happened if you would have bought that. Boom. You see? And then it goes up, came back down right here, doing off another wave. So you really want to see if you see the 2-hour RSI get back, yeah, way back down here or something like that, maybe even to back down there, and Bitcoin's way up there, you know it's probably going to go on another run. And then what do you do, right? What do you do down here in 2-hour RSI? Well, your risk to reward is really, really good that Bitcoin will go up, okay? So just check that out. Maybe that's what Bitcoin is doing. All right, guys, I've been rambling on a little bit. Hopefully you learned a little bit. If you did, leave a comment. And if you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.